Yo, what is going on, guys? Godrekton here, and today I'm bringing you another VOD review game for the Jayce top lane matchup. So over the years, Jayce has been a matchup where it used to be very hard, but based on all the item changes and how Riot kind of reworked the champion, like back in Season 8 maybe, I think it was, is around that point, but they shifted Jayce's like strength to being like more early game based, and now like with how the game's like changed once again in Season 12, Jayce is more of like a scaling champion again. I mean, even last season he was too, but I find that Jayce is very like easy compared to what he used to be. Jayce used to be very oppressive, which he would have way too much damage for Renekton to really handle, so you had to play it really cautious and like be very careful. And while Jayce still carries some of those traits from what he used to have, it's definitely a much easier matchup, which people shouldn't really worry about, especially if you go with the setup too. In my opinion, I think I wanted to start longsword free potions here. I think that's way better, especially against like this setup if I was against Jayce in lane, like with a longsword free pot setup. But I ended up going D-Shield second win because I wanted to play a little bit safe. Pretty common trend lately, I know. My games haven't been too great, so in those times where I feel like I'm a little bit shaky in my performance, I tend to go like a more safer route because I know what I'm capable of. It's all about like execution. So if I am playing like really bad, I'm not often going to start longsword because that requires me to play really well, and I can do that in every matchup. So I think one of the first takeaways too, just as like a tip for players that want to get better at Renekton or any kind of champion that requires you to play really well, it is don't be egotistical. Like, don't always do one thing. Try and change up based on how you're feeling too. It is very important to play how you're feeling as well. Like, if you feel like you're not playing so great today, then you definitely don't want to push for like these super aggressive play styles and whatnot. It's a lot better just to be a bit safer with your approach, so you're not losing lane and then you're having way more consistent success as well, which I think is a problem a lot of Renekton players have, which is consistency. I like to feel like I'm getting a lot better at consistency lately because I'm able to play a lot more League with my internet being fixed. So one of those ways as well, like to where I approach like how I play, is definitely based on like how I'm feeling. But I will make a video going into all like the psychological stuff one day on how I perform, because I feel like for performance and just how you feel as a person like makes a big difference when you play League, especially like these champions like Renekton, which is definitely dictated on like how someone is. Like, if you're feeling bad, you're going to perform bad. If you're feeling great, you're going to play great. Just how it is, at least for me. But anyways, let's get into the main replay itself. So the Jayce matchup, definitely not hard. A lot of the matchup is just doing really fast combos, trying to W before Jayce uses his hammer form E. So that's typically what you want to look for. But I'm gonna break down like how I'm trading and explain that all in detail. But anyways, I start off in this game by just waiting here. A good Jayce player will often like cheese in these bushes if he's not leashing for his jungle. So I'm just waiting here in case he comes from either the river point or like the bushes. Because if I walk up straight away, Jayce will like start chunking me out in cannon form, sorry. And Renekton's very weak at this stage. Renekton can't really retaliate back, so you want to keep all your health up as much as possible before walking in. So I'm kind of scouting, like, is Jayce going to come out one of these bushes? Is he leashing? That's kind of like my thought process here. I haven't skilled anything yet either, just in case, because if he's starting to cheese from this bush, I might have to E away to avoid poke. Although it's not really preferable. But I see Jayce is coming here. I figured that he might have leashed, but I also do look bot side. So he did a fake leash. Jayce actually didn't leash. It was his bot lane that did, which did come very late. And also Karma ran mid. I don't remember this happening. I think it's because Zoe was AFK for a little bit, but she does come back into the game. Yeah, Draven chose, so it's more than likely that he actually leaves for his jungle here because Karma ran mid to defend. Straight away, the way I want to play this matchup is I want to play on the edge. So like I talked about in the Vayne game, imagine like a range indicator around the range top laner. So right now, his range is like to this minion, or like just a little bit like to here. So I want to play out that range indicator. So every time he walks forward, I want to walk out. I want to play off ranges. A bit of wiggling here too, you call it, where you click in and out. So I try and do the wiggle, then I'll walk back out to preemptively predict the Q. Most Jayce players will go for a Q if they know they're going to land. So you want to trick them by walking in, then clicking back out. Although this here was a little bit more. Like if we go back. I don't think it really... Also, I'll Q the first 3 minions. I'm just waiting at the back, then I'm getting the Q off. But what I mean is... Jayce wants to make sure his Q's hitting a minion and like his opponent. So I walk in. Flick out. It's the minions, but not me. It's really important for Jayce to like waste mana. That's the other good thing about the setup too, where I go D-Shield Second Wind. It means that I can like take any poke. And it's allowing me to mana burn as well, the enemy top laner. Because if they are consistently using like EQ or like W, like any like poke ability on Jayce, like I can sustain it back up. But when he has no mana, that's when I can most often go for the kills consistently. But even then, I don't need that to be a factor to kill Jayce. It's just more of an example like how you can abuse a Jayce player. And especially in low elo too, a lot of people are really bad at managing their mana. So you can often abuse their mana management by letting them burn mana, like play it a bit slow, then go in at level 2 and 3. Pretty easy stuff. Because you also have to factor that all his like abilities cost quite a bit of mana. And then when he switches to hammer form, that's like another boatload of mana he has to use his abilities. So right now, I want to start going more aggressive. I have the E, but I am playing behind the minions. I don't want to get hit by any Qs. So I want to like path in a way where I'm not trying to tank Qs. I think I get hit by one here if I remember. Okay, I don't. He misses that, so I go for the EQ auto. I actually don't proc my auto here. I cancel out of it. Wait, or did I proc it? It says I have a PTA stack on him. Didn't look like it for a second. Yeah, I definitely did. EQ auto. Yeah, I do. I guess it doesn't show PTA stacks in replays. I thought it did. Take a bit of unnecessary damage there. Just Q the minions there to get a little bit of health back, even if it is a little bit nerfed. Try to build Fury as well. Really important. So he gets level 3 here now. I EQ. I get level 3 off this minion. I Q first and auto to kill the minion as well. Get level 3, E in. I auto W. Flash, proc the PTA, and he's dead. It was very close. I didn't play it my best. Like, in this game, I do make quite a lot of mistakes. Like, I think what I want to, like, title the video is, like, how to play, like, from tilt. Because there's a lot of things I did based off tilt as well. Like, I got given a pretty hefty lead early, but I was throwing, so we are going to cover more into what happens, like, afterwards as well. Like, and how I managed to untilt myself. But as we notice, Zoe comes back to the lane and already kills the Silas. Zoe was AFK as well. I don't know how that really happens, but apparently it did. But yeah, right now, shove the wave in after killing Jayce. He has no summoners, making him susceptible for, like, killing, like, from a gank. So that's pretty good. Master Yi just tried to stop my recall here, but I end up outplaying this. I auto Q. I E for Fury. Walk towards Sejuani so she gets to me quicker. I empower W now. Auto E for more damage. We get the passive proc, and then just like that, Asti is put behind. Really well played from Sejuani. He was also my duo for this game. I've been duoing like a lot lately with people, but it's just fun. I like playing with people. Really fun. Yeah, shout out to Janubi, the streamer as well. But right away, I see that Jayce tried to get a hard shove because I recalled. From that, he has no summoners. Pretty easy kill. Use W. Like, this combo is broken. If I W with a Sejuani, it's proccing multiple passive stacks, so we just freeze him, and then he just dies. So just like that, Jayce is out the game now. I have Dirk, and I'm going for Prowler's Claw. Prowler's Claw allows me to instantly one-shot him. He actually just can't play the game once I build this item. So I'm not really afraid to go aggressive with my item build, because every time I jump on the Jayce, he's practically going to die. It's very simple. Right now I'm looking for a slow push. I'm just kind of like letting the wave build up. Based off my XP as well, we can actually dive the Jayce. But the other benefit for slow pushing here is that because I'm like giving the wave like time to build up, it's also giving time for people like Sejuani to come back top lane. And Jayce being as clueless as he was, he just walked back, didn't ward. I'm building up Fury right now. So I'm looking to E right here. I'm pretending like to make it not as obvious, so I'm like walking up and down to kind of like have a it's like a mind game. When you see someone's character facing like the opposite way, you'll feel that's like an indicator that like maybe they're scared, or like maybe they don't want to fight and they want to disengage. Now, if it's Jayce where he's like facing me, that means like he wants to be more aggro. So in this scenario, you can mind game it to where like you don't really want to fight, so you're taking this unnecessary damage, like trying to path up and down, whatnot. Give like a different read, and then obviously from looking this way, I can instantly cast my E this way to shift my character model into him, which kind of like gives a unsurprising effect to a lot of people. I mean, this game, like, it didn't really work, but it can work against various people if you do it right. But I double dash, get my Fury, power W instantly, proc the passive stacks, kill Jayce in that funny death animation. And yeah, just like that, he's already 0-3. Like, I did feel like I cheated the matchup a little bit by having a Sejuani as a duo. But, again, I also want to teach you guys how to play, like these... I don't know, you'll see what I mean. But the game was very hard, because I was, like, throwing it at various stages. And I want to teach you guys, like, how not to throw and also what to do differently. Because I don't really play my best this game. It's actually a really bad game for me. But right now, Zoe tries to fight me. This is very bad of her. Like, for one, she's tagging all these minions. Each caster minion here is doing 27 damage. And there's a cannon minion doing 44 damage, or just a little bit below that based on armor. But she's tanking all this damage, as you see. Like, she's losing so much health here. Like, 200 health in a split second. I'm taking a bit of unnecessary damage too, but, you know, I just murdered the Zoe, and just like that, another kill. It was really idiotic, though. Never fight in minion waves like this, guys. Like, I still make the same mistake too. I will go for stupid trades sometimes when a minion wave is built up. And that alone will never benefit me. Even if I think I can combo fast enough, it still doesn't benefit me. Because each minion is shredding my health in the minion wave, and it's just really bad. Just a really bad idea. So, I'm 4-0-1 now. From here, you think, okay, the game is basically over. All lanes are winning. I'm really fed. What could possibly go wrong? Well, this is kind of where things started taking a turn for the worst. So, I come back, just killing the minions. I figure Jayce is going to recall here, just for some gold he's sitting on. Can buy a duck on his recall. There is a fight going on bot side. Team does give a kill or so. So I do see that Yee's bot side. Again, I'm just slow pushing just to kind of take a... It's like taking a deep breath, you know. You take a deep breath and then you just kind of like look what's around you, you know. Try and get like a clear mind. So in this time frame, I'm just looking at the map. If I just shove in, then I'm not thinking about things directly because my attention is focused on the minion wave. When I can keep the wave like this, let it build up a little bit, then I can like dive the Jayce with like my items and stuff. But doing this, I can just look at the map and just see what's going on. So I see that, like, we're trying to fight bot lane. I saw that Yi could be on Dragon. There's a lot of information I can get just by slow pushing. Yeah, the Draven kills our Samira here. Sejuani is away from me at the moment, so I can't just kill the Jayce. I mean, I can, but I want to make sure, like, I have enough Fury, and I want to make sure that no one's around as well. EQW here. A lot of the combos that I can do, like, I have to kind of trade like this, like use all my main abilities and not really spread auto attacks. That's because Jayce can instantly R then like E, Renekton away if you try and do like an auto before. So the best like way to approach a Jayce, like combo wise, is like EQ, then W instantly. You can animation cancel your Q with W based on this combo setup too. So you gain all this damage off really quickly, and then you can disengage with E if you're in range, or Jayce will disengage from you by using his own E. And that also is a way of building Fury too, because each ability is giving me a lot of Fury as well. So now I have 59 Fury. I can look for a dive. I probably should have dived here, or like at least soon. I have flash as well. I can probably one-shot this if I was more confident, but for some reason, I thought that Mass D was like topside. So I didn't go for it, or I thought that the support would roam top lane. But that actually doesn't happen because obviously they're all here. Yeah, for some reason in the moment I thought that maybe someone can roam, but all I had to do was like flash W, R, EQ auto attack, and E again, and I probably one-shot the Jayce. I have like enough Fury for it too. But for whatever reason, I didn't go for it. And I think it was also because Jayce can like maybe I could fuck up because I wasn't really feeling so confident. Even with these kills, like I just wasn't having the best day. I feel like he could switch to his hammer form, get extra resistances, which could be enough to negate the killing blow damage that I might need. And there's a lot of factors kind of changing my mind. Yeah, now that I'm taking a bit longer just to build the wave up, Zoe could roam here, Mass D could be around here. Obviously, Mass D was pathing top. I wouldn't have known that though, but in my head, that's kind of what was going on. You see, I'm looking for the all-in here with 100 Fury. But right away, he just goes onto this, gets 62 armor, can E me, like fuck my combo up. Like, I missed my opportunity to kill him. That's fine though, that's still fine. All I need to do is not die and give up gold. Because Jayce is fucked regardless. On my back, I'm getting Prowler's Claw, and Jayce can't do anything. So, I think in the moment, I should have just shoved this in now, and then back with Prowler's Claw, because there's nothing really, like, to do. Like, what am I staying for? Am I really gonna dive with, like, barely any minions? Like, Sejuani's not around. Maybe I could kill him, because he's losing a lot of mana to use, like, his full combo, but, again, like the reasons I already discussed, I feel like I could fuck it up, personally, because I wasn't really feeling too good. But what ends up happening, this is the downside to slow pushing, because in this moment, I could shove and get Prowler's Claw. But instead, I'm just taking my time, and that gives time for the Zoe to roam up. Also, Mass D was coming as well. So, I'm just cornered here. Like, I'm pretty much, like, fucked. Silas didn't even ping either. Like, he took way too long. Like, this guy was, I don't know. He was a little bit of a, let's just say he was having a bad game. Let's just say he was having a bad game, which is fair, but he also was trying to tilt people in the game as well. So, you know, there's one thing like having a bad game, but trying to tilt your teammates and stuff is not also the way. So why do that in the first place, right? But anyways, Zoe shows, again, I have 100 Fury. I can actually one-shot this, which I do. WRQ, auto, then E. Now, this is my mistake. I'll let it play out first. Now let's go back. What could I do differently here? So I have Ignite, I have Flash, I have everything up. Like, I have everything to do like a fast combo here. I opt for the WRQ, then auto E. Now, I have Ignite, you might notice. I could E out and Ignite and kill the Zoe, but in my head, I kind of thought, like, I can just kill Zoe here, and then I can kill Jayce. Jayce hasn't got mana, but because he does have the tier, and he still has a combo rotation to use, and I have nothing up, I don't really have anything else to finish the Jayce with. And that alone was an ego play. Because I thought I could 1v2 in my head. I thought I could one-shot the Zoe faster. And then turn on the Jayce, but yeah. It ended up backfiring on me. And this alone, like, I gave up a lot of gold here. 700 gold for a Jayce. Like, look at his items when he backs now. Look what this does for him. He takes a plating too. Then right after, Master Yi gets a kill too because Silas can't shove in a wave. He could have got a plating. Like, there was no reason for him to roam top lane there. It was really idiotic. So I buy Prowler's Claw. Longsword. Pretty good. Jayce hasn't backed yet. But when he does back, he buys Eclipse. So just like that, we're even on items. But you have boots and you have a longsword. Yes, but he also has magical footwear, as we're going to see in a minute too. So that one death alone potentially cost me the lane. This happened in another game I played too. I played against a set. I was winning. I had my Blair Ruin King. Then I made a mistake of not Wing his W one time, and I died. And that alone shifted the whole game, because Set could just buy items to get him back in the game, like Godrekton. And then he just kept snowballing, and then I was just making a lot of mistakes and tilting. So you really have to be considerate, is this really worth it? Now, in the heat of the moment, things can happen, but I could just get one kill there and disengage. I thought Jayce's mana was also low enough to where, like, he wouldn't have anything else to use against me, but obviously he starred, like, a bunch of mana as well, which is the mistake I made. So it's really important to consider, like, is this worth, like, again, heat at the moment, mistakes can happen, but obviously on review, it was not the play. And that could have been avoided if I looked at Jayce's mana too, to understand. But yeah, big mistake, cost me a lot in advance. So now Jayce has a huge power spike. Now, I do have Prowler's Claw, which is fine. I can still kill Jayce and win the matchup, but as you see here, he is doing a lot of damage to me. I could even die here too. I was taking a lot of unnecessary damage. So I waited for Sejuani because I misplayed the hell out of it. Go in, WQ, just to execute the Jayce, nothing special. And then we're going to shove in and push. Mistake number 2. Zoe kills Silas here. Was it here actually? I guess it wasn't here. But I'm trying to shove the waves in. This is fine. Yeah, this is fine here. So I get the reset, as I should do. Next, I'm building towards Blair Ruin King. As you guys know, I love my full AD Renekton. The best 2 damage for Renekton, like items, like in the whole game, is certainly Prowler's Claw, Blair Ruin King. You can't really beat that at all. Get a solo kill on Jayce. I want to play that again just to explain what I did too. So he has no EQ now. This can give me a window to fight as well. Jayce also doesn't do enough damage early game to really warrant me to be scared. So I double dash in, EQ, R, auto, Prowler's Claw. I W as well on the point of where he E's me. So he stands still. I break out before him. Auto ignite. And then I finish off with the locusts, I guess. Like, what even are these things? Are they beetles? I think the beetles. Scarabs? Like, you guys will have to correct me. Like, I've played this champion since season 4, and I don't even know what these things are. Either way, he died. He died to my little fucking insects. Which is, you know, always pretty fun to kill someone with. Now, here's where the other mistake happens, though. So, Zoe's not on the map. I am autopiloting. That's what, you know, it's called, where your mind is not focused on the land. Like, let's just say, to describe autopiloting, that basically means, like, your mind's just not focused. Like, you're concentrating on one thing and ignoring everything else around you. So an example of this, like, could just be like driving a car and you're focused on only the thing ahead of you and you're not checking your mirrors. So when you're not checking your mirrors, things can happen. Someone could collide into you. Maybe an accident happens behind you. Like, there just could be things happening, right? That you're not seeing because you're only looking at things in one perspective. So me here to you know, kind of explain like the process of autopiloting is that I'm focusing on attacking the turret here. Didn't see that Zoe roamed, and my incompetence alone from that meant that I now died to the Zoe. Because I greeded for the tower planting too. It was really idiotic of me. I had no reason staying. I already had a lot of gold. But this whole game was basically me being greedy. And I didn't die too much in this game, but the mistakes I was making was enough for Zoe to be a problem. So Zoe just got like a ton of gold. Well, a decent amount of gold. She got like a minion wave as well. Push that in. Gets a playing out of it. Next, we're in a really bad position where Jayce is mid lane. My team's all bot side. Like, they were going for a dive. Which does go successful. On the map. Do we take tower first? I don't think we do. But either way, Zoe is about to take my tower first. I have to decide to go top or mid lane here. What would you guys do in this moment? And I want you to think about this. Because some people, again, will autopilot and just go top here. But why are you going top here? Just to explain the thought. If I'm going top, I'm only getting the minions. I can't save the tower. That notion is, like, not available for me. I can go mid, get some minions, save, like, an extra few platings from being here. Like, it's just better for me to go mid here, so I do kind of just work out in the moment, like, yeah, I'm going to go mid. But I nearly autopiloted and went top. Yeah, we lose first tower just because of my death alone. So, a huge mistake on my part, that whole thing. And we also lose, like, cool platings mid lane to Jayce. See, a lot of people, when they play top lane as well, is that, they will make these mistakes in games, like, where, like, the teammates don't really play well. Like, it all happens. It happens to all of us as top laners. Like, you'll have a game where the game is practically unwinnable. But these habits that players do, where they, like, greed for tower playings and die to ganks and whatever, like, these make a huge difference on the outcome. Because right now, this gave, like, Zoe a needlessly large rod. Like, what did it give Zoe in the long run of things? Is my replay just crashed? This is awkward. Well, that's, very fun. I'll have to edit this out. Okay, we are back. So, my game decided to randomly crash when I tried to play back. And, yeah, so where was I? So I wanted to see, like, how much items Zoe got from all this. So she was on a Lost Chapter and Blasting Wand. And she backed for a Luden's and needs a large rod. Or not. Why is my game bugged now? My game is just completely bugged. Maybe this time it can work. Okay, we're back again. So, maybe there's no technical problems this time? Maybe? So anyways, let's explain, like, what happened then. So, all my mistakes alone got Zoe a Luden's Tempest and also an easy large rod. Which is huge, you know? Like, it's very huge that I gave her all this gold. Because this made her a problem. Like, my mistakes were the reason why Zoe was a problem. Now, people could say, like, oh, that's a reach, you know, you made one mistake, sure, but mistakes cost you a lot. And I think a lot of people forget this because of how the game shifted over the years. Like, with the release of things like Kiana, like Mordekaiser, like, all these champions, like, ever since Season 7, a lot of them are what you call, idiot-proof. To where you can make mistakes, but you always have an ace up your sleeve. You can pull something out and just make that mistake into nothing. But being that I play a Season 1 champion, you have to be more accountable for your actions. Because one mistake can change everything, especially for Renekton, because he scales considerably weak compared to everyone else. And that's not to say that Renekton's terrible later on in the game. No, Renekton has really good AD scalings and can still one-shot anybody. But Renekton does lack survivability stats as the game goes on. His dash is very exploitable, So reaching people's also a problem. Obviously, with the help of Prowler's Claw, it does make up for it. And he doesn't have, like, any percentage damage or, like... His base damage doesn't scale absurdly high. It's all based on items. That's why playstyles like Godrekton, like any bruiser playstyle, it doesn't entirely scale as well as full AD. And that's just kind of like the, you know, that's just kind of how it is. So you have to always play with the intent to lead. You can't let games go too late. So making these mistakes is a giant hindrance to your own ability to carry a game and also have an impact. So I think a lot of people, when they're playing Renekton and like when they play Renekton from all these other champions, it's like a whole different perspective because your mistakes are a lot more dramatic compared to every other champion. And I think that's also what disinterests a lot of people from maining him when the champion's actually pretty good. But it also makes it like a hard champion too, and obviously people don't like champions being a hard thing. They want things that are easy and rewarding. Renekton is not unfortunate, like, he's easy to like identify and like pick up, but as the games go on, like you're gonna have games where things go horribly wrong, and it's gonna be very like dramatic, those games. Like it's gonna feel awful. But that's why the biggest tip is being accountable. Accept your mistakes and learn from them. It's going to make you a better player overall, understanding why things went wrong. And you know, like you don't want, like, it's just an easy way to like kind of learn as well, I feel like. Just accepting mistakes, because you accept a mistake and then you can move on and then understand like what else to do around you, like how to improve. But yeah, that's kind of my little segment on why it was a giant mistake I made overall. And yeah, now you're going to see the consequences of it throughout most of the game. But anyways, right now I'm just kind of looking for a place to farm. Silas was just like a bit clueless. He was just walking around where I was walking. Then I think that I'm fine here. Like, I feel like, oh, surely she doesn't see me here for a split second, but then my health bar gets eviscerated, and then I have to panic ult. Again, that's the problem with my own actions there. Me giving all that gold to Zoe made a huge difference. And she's just zoning me away from fights. My team gets one flash, but yeah, it's just like a really awkward situation now because Zoe can stall the game out to a point where Master E scales, and so does Draven and Jayce. So we have to be like very smart with what we're doing. I was going bot lane, but Silas pinged to go bot, but then he fought mid, so I ended up just going top instead, which was a little bit annoying, but no, it happens. We were getting stuff from mid lane at least. The Zoe was putting up a fight in the mid lane. So what's my objective right now? How do I kind of come back from this little down, like, fall I had? Well, a lot of that is just kind of changing your mindset. Like, accept that, you know, oh, you know, I made a mistake, but it happens. What's next? I want to shove in the wave here, get top tower. Zoe does get another kill. This is like another tilting scenario that happens, which is also another thing I want to teach in this game. It's like how to handle tilt, because I tilted very hard based on how my mid lane was playing. And that's something you should never let happen to you. Like, you should never feed the energy from your teammates. So if people are being negative, you don't want to feed into that and be negative yourself. You want to mute these people, and you want to avoid the things that they're doing to, you know, make you negative. Which was my own mistake here. So I had trust here that Silas was going to like pick up a kill. I came down to like offer some insurance that maybe he can kill it here. So he goes in, Everfrosts. He lands the E. He has W up, which is 295 damage. Maybe he could have got a bit lower if he W'd first, then had Q to Q up here. I'm coming down, but I get CC'd. And just like that, I die too, on a play that I kind of thought was free, but I don't know if Silas just messed up or what, but yeah. Maybe I could have avoided the bubble, but I also didn't think in the moment she still had it. I thought she used it on Silas. Yeah, we lost a lot here from that as well, so I followed that play. It was pretty dumb, but I also didn't expect it to go so bad. I thought we would surely kill the Zoe. So 3 deaths, pretty much back to back. Very rough for me. So I run top here. Silas is just taking the farm. Like lane assignments this game were like also a big problem. I don't know why my mouse is not focusing. I could go in here, but I had to like adjust something on my setup because I was like streaming. I had to mute my mic a second. So I didn't go for the play. My teammates are still fed though. We are pushing. I mean, we are like pressuring mid, so just pushing the wave. Maybe I could have pushed a little bit longer, but they're all like practically topside. It wouldn't be worth. So next, I want to go bot lane. As a top laner, I want to be either bot or mid. Now, being that my team is bot side right now, I need to just go mid and prepare for the dragon, which comes up very soon. Is it on? Where is the dragon timers? I'm sorry, this replay is so scuffed because nothing is right. Like, this new patch, like, everything is being, like, disabled, I guess. Like, where's the dragon timers? Okay, well, I guess we'll have to use our brains to figure out the exact time. So right now, we have less than a minute before dragon spawns. So we want to get, like, the advantage of this area by trying to de-ward and, like, just be in position. My team wasn't really in position. Sejuani's topside. She probably should have been towards dragon, to be honest. But even then, like, we shouldn't be pushing up till she's here. Sejuani is kind of how we win the game. We want her to like go in with ult, and then I look for a Prowler's Claw on Zoe. That's basically the objective on how I play fights. Shen kind of got himself caught. I wanted to go in, but I didn't really trust the fact that maybe she had an E up. Just has Everfrost now. So playing these scenarios is very hard. Again, this is the price you pay when you make mistakes as much as I did this game. So what can we do here? Realistically, we just have to give up the dragon. There's nothing we can do. Walking in here with 0 vision is suicide. So you never want to just push up here, especially against a poke comp. You just want to shove in mid lane, get what you can, buy time for like the enemies not to push, and then you want to reset. So I'm kind of just weighing around, looking for something to do. Using red trinket to go on our jungle in case they trap and have wards down. I'm just going to shove in the waves, try and get some gold. My gold has been, like, really bad. Like, at least my minion kills, like, I haven't really been getting much minions recently in games, so... I kind of tried to, like, aid myself and try and get back in the game that way. Right now, I place a control ward down as well, just so I can, like, have Fog of War. Draven wouldn't know I'm here otherwise, so I'm just kind of waiting around to see if, like, something happens. My team is making a play topside, so in this time, being that I'm not with them and I don't have teleport, I'm going to shove bot lane. We get a kill on Master E. I did see that Zoe was somewhat low, so right now this gives me a perfect kill opportunity. All I needed to make this happen was Karma to like not be near Draven. So being that she's like with her team, I can actually make a play here. So the way I want to play this is I want to E into range, then like Prowler's Claw. So I E from this. Bit of a risky E because that minion was 2 health. I could have easily not got my second dash here. W, auto Q, and then dice out. Unfortunately, I can't finish the kill, and Zoe ends up like getting a couple kills as well. Master E runs, like, the reason I ran away too is because of Master E. Maybe I could have killed him, but I don't know if he has ult up. Like, Smite's a factor. The fact that, like, at our Prowler's Claw, like, there's a lot of things that could go wrong there, and I was pretty low to begin with. So I'll just go for the reset, then I rush up top lane just to flex some farm. I play Rune King as well now, so I'm at, like, my critical mass stage of being able to do things. A fight breaks out mid lane, so I try and roam my team. Sejuani goes in. Unfortunately, we can't really do a lot here. I could have W'd here, but it's not enough to really make an impact. So I'll just try and keep my Fury. Silas does die here. We have to give up the tower. Like, there's nothing we can do. We're getting, like, completely zoned off. Like, our win con is for Sejuani to land an ult, and then I try and look for a play on Zoe. But right now, being that we're, like, at a disadvantage numbers-wise, we have to just kind of bleed a little bit. Like, just give up some stuff. Dragon is spawning within a minute. Can we contest this? Possibly, but I think we end up not doing that because I end up getting just chunked out, I imagine. Well, I think so. I can't remember if it's here. First of all, I use Red Trinket. They could be anywhere in our jungle, and they actually were. They were like just backing like over here. So I'm just using Red Trinket to kind of de-ward and spot if people are trying to look for a trap. I do see a plan's taken here, so I'm just kind of on the wait. I don't know why I pressed that. My bad. Right now, I do want to keep my Fury up. I try and greed once again. Get hit by the W. I panic ult here because I feel like Zoe Q is going to hit me. And I thought Jayce Q was going to do a lot too. So I wasted my ult, unfortunately. But I am keeping my Fury up. Then out of nowhere, I get hit by another W. I E just so I don't get hit by any Qs. Like, I was just playing this really badly. Now, this is like the fight that we needed. These two try and like overextend. I come over. I just flash Prowler's Call W to try and nuke. Oh, we didn't need to flash there. Probably could have just E'd, but I think it was on cooldown. I want to try and see if it was. Yeah, it was just off cooldown. I had to flash here. Prowler's Call was a bit of a waste though. It wasn't needed. Next, we wanted to go for the dragon, but we couldn't really do much else, so we just sack another Cloud Dragon. And it's not the end of the world. It really doesn't matter. I wish my mouse wasn't going off my screen constantly. It's so hard to navigate. So many tech issues in this replay. How much left? Okay, the game's like almost over. I just noticed the VOD's been going like too long. Probably not the best video I made. So Baron's up. We do see that they're on our jungle. Again, I'm kind of greeding, but being that everyone could have like recalled and people are just spawning back on the map, this gives us a chance to actually abuse the enemies here. So they're out of position. I'm trying to walk around, use the plant here, come over the wall. Just W the E, keep him in place. Tries to escape. Karma's stuck in the pit. I'm then chasing the E. He just kind of break my ankles a little bit embarrassing. But we get the kill. And next, the enemies all come back here. We get a kill on the Master E, so they're down a player. I stab my ult too and ignite. So pay attention how I position here, because I think this alone actually won us the fight. So we get a pick on Draven. I do see that Zoe's over here. Trying to use my red trinket because Fog of War. Enemies can't see me. And because they're like focused over here, they have no like idea that I'm coming. Now because I'm behind, Zoe has to focus on me, otherwise I one-shot. That's the threat of full AD Renekton as well. If I jump on her, she's practically dead. So she actually has to like use her W on me. So my team can end up picking off the Zoe, being out of position. And then she walks into our team and dies. Just because I position that way. If I never did this, Zoe could just run over here. So it's very important to also be creative with like how you approach a fight as AD Renekton. You want to play in the shadows. You want to play like very discreet and then look for the opportunity to go for the kill. So that's kind of like what I did there. Just playing in Fog of War, looking for the right moment. Next we just rush in the Baron. Karma and Jayce are trying to be annoying here. Jayce just killed Shen. I don't know what Shen was doing mid. Murder the Jayce real quick, and then we murder the Karma. Just like that. Practically an ace. We'll call that an ace. So what's next? What do we do now? After killing them like this and getting the Baron, we can actually siege. The reason we couldn't siege in the first place was because Zoe could instantly wave clear, and so could Jayce, practically. So, us getting the Baron is a huge play. We needed this Baron to win the game. I think at this point, I'm typing to my team to come mid. Because that's how we end the game here. We all go mid, or we let Silas push side lane, while like 4 of us are mid. And then we just play behind minions and look for a play. So again, using Red Trinket, just keep myself in fog of war in case there's any vision. So I'm not spotted. Just waiting here in case the enemies try and overextend on the Samira. Nothing really happens, but again, it's the foot that counts for things. I thought Silas was going to die here, but we actually pick up a kill. And we're just like slow pushing the wave using Baron buff. Trying to position on this side so Zoe doesn't like throw abilities at us. Next, Sejuani goes in. Good hard in the paint. Samira's doing all the work. Not much to really do here. Try and go for a play, but Zoe being Zoe exhausts me, nearly one-shots me. And then we kill the Zoe. Pretty well played from my team, except Silas. I think Silas deserves a little bit of flack from me with how he played. And he tried to tilt everyone as well. So with the death timers being this long, we can just push mid here. There's nothing the enemies can do. I also have Prowler's Claw as well. By the way, I didn't really explain my Death Stance purchase, but Death Stance is just pretty good overall. Really good item in this meta. It blocks both types of damage now. So magic damage and AD it's really good for with the Ignore Pain passive. That's kind of the reason why I built it third over more, which also could be argued as a good item here. But being that they have like AD damage and like Zoe doing a lot of burst damage, Death Stance just remains a really good item. I have to explain that real quickly. And as you can see, we just nuke the Nexus here because it's currently bugged with 3000 health. It will never regen. And it just has lower health, like 2,000 less health. So games can end even faster. And the enemies can't really defend against it. Which is pretty atrocious in my opinion. That that's allowed to be a thing. But I think it's just a bug at the moment. But with that being said, that is the Jayce matchup. It's pretty easy. I didn't play it the best, but I think the moral, like the story here, like the narrative of the game is... your actions matter a lot. No matter what lane you play, you are an asset to the game too. Now, also lose games can happen, but even like slight mistakes like this in games that you're stomping can easily like bring, you know, it could easily like make the enemies come back. Especially at a time where comeback mechanics are like an all-time high with bounties like coming out of everywhere. So yeah, hopefully you guys learned a lot from this. I certainly did, just based on how I played. I didn't know that one of my deaths for being greedy was like not even one death, 2 deaths, the Jayce and the Zoe, because both of those got like their mythics and like some other components, which actually brought the playing field a lot closer to where it actually was, which was like basically a landslide to me. Like I was hard winning until I threw 2 deaths. Like you would think with like the score, like I played very well, but honestly, I played very bad. There's a lot of faults to this game, like farm, vision, not looking at the map, just greeding for things, being a bit egotistical with wanting to 1v2. Like, there's still mistakes that I'm making as a Masters player. Or like, let's just say D1 Masters, because I am, like, kind of fluctuating right now. So I've got a lot of things to improve on. But I do also feel like a lot of players also make these mistakes lower down, so... as much as I'm learning from this, I hope you guys are too. And maybe you can be a bit more considerate of how you're taking fights as well. Because ultimately, you need to stay ahead on this champion. And if you're not doing that, then chances are you're probably going to fall off and then lose the game. Which is pretty much a common problem with Renekton players and having these like high kill games. Like, people can get like 20 kills on Renekton and like have 4 deaths, but each death matters a lot because you're the only hope of the game. And if you're giving all this gold away, like 1,000 gold like shutdowns and stuff, like 700 gold bounty, then 300 base gold, it all amounts up towards a mythic item or like some other standard item that an enemy's going to get and turn around the game. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like. If you didn't, dislike. Comment maybe why you didn't like it. I could try and improve. I still need to work on my videos too. Like, just trying to improve as well. Obviously, my commentary isn't the best, so trying to improve on that. But if you also did like the content and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. Because I have a lot of great things coming, like itemization guides. Maybe some matchup guides in the future, like extensive ones. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day.